We have discussed so much of things. We have discussed so much of topics depending on lifestyle, money, mental health, and all those things. This is something very different. Today, we're going to talk about the last name. What is your last name? My name is Anjash and my last name is Amna. How important is that name? Because if you can see the irony of the name, you can know that the whole bloodline is attached to that name, that particular name, that particular word that you say, that you put on the end of your name. The whole bloodline, can you imagine that the whole bloodline stands over that name? It's true. So, it is very important to live to that name, to the value that it provides. Your bloodline may be from the greatest warrior of the world. Maybe not. Maybe your bloodline lived a life worth it. And you are obliged, it's your duty to keep up with that bloodline. You have to be to that top, be to the level of the bloodline, or you have to be on top of that bloodline. You cannot go down, you cannot go below that bloodline's value. You have to be on that level or above it. You're obliged with that duty. So, when you think like that, you cannot go wrong. At least the intentional things that you do will be providing more value, will be providing more consciousness to whatever you do. And I can guarantee you that if you are living up to your last name, which is worth living, maybe your bloodline maybe of some filled with some idiots, filled with some thieves, pickpocketers, might not be worth of living. And you should not live to that level. Now you are obliged to live above that level. So, you have to be very conscious of how you're living, how you're thinking, how you're doing everything. You should not go to that level where your bloodline is being a pickpocketer or a thief or anything below average life. So now you have to intentionally live to get above that level, which is the best way to educate yourself and learn the values, learn the traditional values which are applicable to your lifestyle and society. And bring a golden feather to your bloodline. It's very important, and you will be remembered for the next 10 generations, because you are the first one who bought the golden feather. And that is worth a life living. So when your kids look up to you, my dad have managed to bring a golden feather to the bloodline. So now I have to bring at least a golden feather or something more valuable than that. So your kids are not going to be below that level. At least to that level or above that level. You have to teach something like that. And that's how important is your last name. And imagine that there are rapes going on. There are school shootings going on. They are not living up to their last name. Imagine me doing that. No, man, I'll be kicked out of the family. I will be kicked out of the family, or my family, even my father and mother will be criticized for what I have done. Because that's how important is my last name. They will be ashamed in front of other people, other family members, because I did something wrong, which brought a mud on the family name. Imagine me school shooting somebody. My family members will be criticized by other family members because I did something. So I did something wrong. So it is my duty to live up to the level of the bloodline, or I have to achieve something above it so that I can be remembered. If you are living to that level, you won't be remembered, but you will be grateful for living to that level. But if you do something above that level, you will be remembered for the next 10 generations, maybe 20 or 100 generations, because you lived above that level. Because whenever they think of the bloodline, you will be on top. If anybody thinks good about the family, you will be inside that, because you are on top. And all you have to understand is that living up to the bloodline, living up to the name of the bloodline is very important. You have to be on that level, or you have to be above that level, so that you will be remembered or will be grateful for living such a life. It's not important that if your grandfather or somebody in your bloodline was a warrior who fought in a war, it's not important that you have to fight in a war. No. It's not important that. It's not important like that. There is only few wars going on here, especially in India. I live in India. There is no war going on in my areas, my regions, or I can join the military and fight for my country. That's a very good idea. But those ain't my intentions. I'm gonna live up to my family name so that everybody remembers me as somebody who have breaked the line of poverty in my family. That people in my family says that my father and mother are too kind. They help too much people. They help each other, and we live up like a poor people. We don't have enough money to pull that fortune out of our life. But we are living like a middle class family. We have everything that we need for the day, and we'll find what's needed for the next day, and it goes on like that. It's a balanced life right now. But for me, rather than going to war, I would like to be remembered as somebody who have pulled out that fortune for my family and saved my family. And that's my intention. You might have other intentions too, and that's not my problem. That's your goals, your objectives, and your ideas of how you're living. It is not important that you have to have the same intention that I have. You have to have some intentions, some goals, some objectives in your life that you have to be remembered by the next generations. That's important. The goals might be different, but the idea should be the same. That's it. And it's not very simple as you are talking like this. It's very difficult. It takes years of hard work. It takes years of consistency, consciousness, intentions to pull out that fortune. So now you know it. The last name is important. To living up to the last name is very important. As long as you need to be remembered by the next 10 generations, this thing is important. So now, work and live up to the last name. Until I see you next time, stay out.